Hey guys, welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily. This is my channel. I'm here to do a regular Flosstube, kinda. I already actually tried to film this earlier this week, which is why my upload is a little delayed, and it was actually just way too long. I couldn't get it to like upload and render and process correctly, and so I was like, you know what, fine. I deleted it. I'm just going to start over, and I've actually decided to break this into two parts to hopefully reduce the amount of time it takes to film and all that fun stuff. I have noticed that maybe it's just the devices I'm using, but if the video goes too long, my computer just isn't able to like pull it from my device and render it properly. So yeah, I'm going to break it up. So this is part one, two parts. And so for this one, I really just want to talk about the homework that's going on in School of Magical Stitches and like my updates of like what I'm reading, what I'm watching, and things like that. And then in part two, I am going to talk about my haul because I think that is what took up a lot of the time the first time I tried to film this. I have a lot of stuff I want to go over that I got either as Christmas presents or I have since bought myself using gift cards and things from family. And I have a lot and I want to show it off and encourage you guys to buy it yourself or or just look at it with me because I think we definitely all have been really enabled this time of year, what with a lot of people making whip albums and holiday releases and the start of a new year. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are doing no new starts. No new starts. I am not one of them, but I am trying to stitch from stash. So I have a lot of projects and things already kitted that I bought last year that I'd never started. So but they're sitting, and I showed them in my whip parade kind of video. Like I have a lot of stuff that's kitted, but I never started. And so I want to stitch those up before I really dive into buying more patterns and things, even though I might have already bought a pattern and am looking at buying other patterns. The life of a stitcher. But yes, also, I changed my hair again. I like to change my hair a lot. I am kind of a chameleon when it comes to my hair. I don't want to sound braggy, but I honestly, I feel like I have yet to find a hair color that looks bad. Obviously, I haven't tried every single color. Like I've never done like yellow, but I did a green once, and it didn't look the best, but I can admit that. But I just really like to try it. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that my hair is so short, so I can just kind of cut it off, and it grows really quickly, and it doesn't matter. And also, I like to be fun and quirky and eccentric, and I like to do fun, crazy things with my hair. So I have gotten rid of the magenta, the rainbow. There's still, it's like here. There's still little parts of the, it's like underneath. There's still a little part of the rainbow that didn't quite disappear, but that's okay. I decided I wanted to change it because my birthday is in a few weeks, and my favorite color is orange. And I've never actually done like orange. I've had like red hair, like a natural ginger color hair before, but I've never actually done like bright orange. And I didn't want my whole head to be orange, but I wanted orange in my hair for my birthday. And I was like, you know what, why not? So we decided to go with like just a cooler blonde. It's kind of silvery looking, which I really like. Just a cooler blonde that really wouldn't like distract too much. And then we did like an orange shadow root just right here up in the front. So I'm really excited. I did that yesterday, and yeah, I love it. Plus, I really like to sit in my kitchen. I feel like the light in my kitchen, of all places in my house, the sound may not be the best, but the light is truly the best right here. And I wanted to look great, so I sat here. Anyways, so besides that, also, I want to say thank you. Again, thank you to everyone who has shown up and subscribed and commented. The support has been amazing, and I know I've said it before, but I just want to say it again. I just appreciate it so much. It's very, very encouraging, and I just want to help, and I just want to continue on being supportive and encouraging for all of you guys as well. I'm trying to slowly make my way through all the comments. I've been really busy. I feel like my life is kind of hectic right now, but I am slowly getting through the comments. I appreciate everyone who has said something, and I will eventually respond to you, I promise. So moving on. I've been given some shout outs. I shouted out Lisa last time and Sammy J, and they both have either commented on my stuff in like Facebook groups, or have Lisa mentioned me in one of her homework videos, and that was just amazing. And I am just like starstruck because it's just so real a little bit. I feel like I've been watching you guys and watching Flosstube for quite a while now, and have always just been, like long time listener, first time caller kind of thing, where I never commented on videos, I never liked videos, but I watched them, and I just kind of lurked in the background because I was so shy and so anxious about speaking out and like putting myself out there. And now that I have, and now that I've created this channel, it just has given me so much more confidence to, Kennedy, to say hi and hello and be a part of this community fully. So thank you. And along with that, I need to let my dog out. Up and down, up and down. All right, I am off work today. Today is Wednesday. I am off work today. My son is actually home from school today. He is being amazingly awesome right now and is sitting quietly on our couch reading a book. I promised him video game time if he would sit quietly and read while I film. So things are just kind of all over the place, but that's okay. Anyways, I want to say, because I am wanting to be more involved in the community, how you can find me on social media besides just here on my YouTube channel. I am in several Facebook groups. I am in School of Magical Stitches. I am in Virtual Stitchers. I am in Semi-Sane Stitchers. Virtual Stitchers is not a challenge group. It's just a community group where all of us who like to stitch can join online and chat and talk and share pictures of our progress. It was actually where I first started sharing the uploads of my videos before I got brave and actually posted directly in School of Magical Stitches. But it's a great place. We have a Zoom room. You can join, and then you contact an admin and ask for the Zoom password, and then you can log on and actually video chat with other cross-stitchers and like-minded people, and it's just a wonderful way to connect, especially in these trying times, and it's really been a godsend. I've definitely logged on, and sometimes I just sit and I'm quiet. I haven't been able to log on recently because things have been so hectic, but I want to get back in there and actually start chatting again and interacting with the group one-on-one and chatting and talking. I do have an Instagram, but it's not very active. I need to get better at posting on there, and it is the same name as my YouTube channel. It is Snark and Spark on Instagram. I think some of you have found me because I have noticed an influx of followers, and I am going to try and get better at posting more regularly on that Instagram as well. I just kind of stuck at it, but there's that. So if you find me, I'm not going to say my full name, but if you have found me on there, then you have definitely found me on there, and that is okay. I don't mind my name being there in the groups because I joined those groups before I made this channel. Like I said, my name is Emily. I do post under my real name on the Facebook groups, so good luck. Just don't be creepy about it. Okay, this video is going to end up being just as long because I keep getting up and down. So, moving on. We are talking about the homework for School of Magical Stitches. I don't have any updates for Semi-Sane because everything is still happening. Like, we're in the middle of the month, nothing new has started. The only thing I think is different is that we are switching over to a new letter. So if you're doing the alphabet I think that happens this week. We're switching from A into B, I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't have anything with a B, so I will not be doing that right now, and that's okay. So yes, so let's talk about the homework. Sorry, I've got my planner in front of me, and I've written out outlines of things to help how my brain works. So the task for week 3 is Meet the Demigods, and it is a spell out challenge. We are spelling out the word demigods. D-E-M-I-G-O-D-S. Just a quick little intro to that and a little background. This is not new. We have seen spell out challenges before. It was really popular last year. We saw a lot of it with Disney, and we're back at it, and that's fine. I really like these challenges. Specifically for this challenge, we are using objects or items found in your pattern, in your cross-stitch project. You may not use the title, like the name of your project, the name of the company, or the name of the designer. You can only use objects found within your project. So I'm going to go through what I have for my project, and then also try and provide you guys with examples of other things. I just jotted down a quick list. It may not necessarily make sense, but just to get you brainstorming and get you some ideas and get the ball rolling for you guys. So for D, I also am going to try and use one entire project, which is, again, Letters from Hogwarts, because that is my focus piece. And it is even more important that I get it done because, guys, I'm an aunt. My sister gave birth on the 8th to her first child. We have a beautiful little girl who is now a part of our family, and I am very, very excited. So it is even more important that I get this done. I need to finish it by this year, hopefully within a few months. And I know that's putting a lot of pressure on myself, but I don't care. So, Letters from Hogwarts. It is by Stuart Cunningham of Cunning Cross Stitch. There is a Facebook group as well. It is just Cunning Cross Stitch that I am also in, where he posts about his current sales, and a lot of his stuff is free, and it's great. Look him up. He is currently actually doing a Magic Kingdom sale for this year. Like, where was that last year for School of Magical Stitches? And he's released the first part, and it's Ariel. It's awesome. So, anyways, so here we go. For D, I have their doors. There are doors on the castle. But other examples: darkness, dogs, divination, duck, dirt. It doesn't have to be complex. E, I have the engine on the Hogwarts Express, the train. There are also ears, eyes, elbows. Those are fantastic if you have people. Elephants, eggs, anything like that with animals or farmhouse things. M, I have mail. It's there's a bunch of letters along the bottom border, and it is mail. You can also do man or men. Map, mask, moat, if you have anything with a castle. Moats, mirrors, mice. I have the ink on the mail. Along the bottom, some of them you can actually see where it has been written on in like the green ink from like the letter that Harry receives. So I have the ink on the envelopes. You can do the iris of the eyes. That is a really good one to use if you have stuff with people, because eye can be hard. Eye can be a really tricky one, but we all have irises. It is the colored part of your eyes. Mine are blue. We also have iris as in the flower. Anything with insects, ice. Just don't overthink. Don't box yourself in. Speaking of in, it sounds like Kennedy wants in. For G, I have the ground under the castle. You can actually see some of the ground. But other examples, we have goats, guards, or guardians, like the Guardians of Notre Dame. That was a really popular piece for a little while. Giraffes, gorillas, grins. O for owl. There's an owl in the upper right-hand corner. It was the first thing I stitched on that piece. But for O's, orbs. Oleander is a flower. Organs, both. Would you two stop? Goodness gracious. I said organs. Either internal organs, if you have any anatomically correct pieces. I have seen quite a few heart pieces, which would be really cool. Or even like piano organ. Ospreys are birds, ostriches are birds, ocelots is a type of cat, an orange. Also, it's really, really vague, and I don't know if it would count, but the first thing that also popped into mind for me was object. We all have objects in our pieces. D, I am either going to do the dolphin Patronus, or there are dregs of the tea in a teacup in one of the classroom scenes. Other D options: daughter, daggers. If it's raining, it's a downpour. If you have a Wizard of Oz piece, you have Dorothy. And then finally, S, I'm using the steam off of the train, or the colorful swirls in the banner as well. But sugar, if you have anything with tea or coffee or any like food pieces, sugar, snow, snowmen, snowflakes, signs. You could do a sun as in a child, or the sun as in up in the sky. There are a lot of things you can do to encompass this. There's lots of things you can do. Again, just don't be afraid of like boxing yourself in. You can think abstract. You can think big and broad. It does not have to be super, super specific. And I tried to give really big examples and really specific examples. But please don't hesitate. If you need help, if you are confused or stuck, just ask for help either on the page, or if you can find me, you can always like send me a comment either here, or if you find me in a group, send me a message, and I am more than willing to help you. But I know that a lot of people will post directly in School of Magical Stitches with a picture of the whip they want to use and say, this is my whip, help, I need suggestions for D, E, and I. And then everyone will like immediately flood and give options, and it's brilliant. I love seeing the community come together. I just love seeing people being helpful. So I was going to show you what I've worked on, but it's all the way over there, and I don't want to get up yet again. So stay tuned for part 2, where I will actually show you the progress I've made on my whips this week. Again, I'm primarily working on Letters from Hogwarts, and I feel like I've made really good progress on that. Getting the castle done. I realized I was missing a couple colors, like I was missing 2 colors of all things. So I actually went to the store and grabbed the 2 colors I needed, and then also, more floss, because why not? But I will show you that, and then I've also been using Praise Him with Strings. I've been using that as my drying off piece for the snowball fight, which is nice. I've been hit a few times. I'm putting myself out here. I am opening the doors. I'm opening the windows. I have not been hit with a snowball in a while. Take that as you will. So, moving on. Books. What have I been... Oh no, I still want to do this. Da-da-da! This way. So I remember I said I finished this at the end of December. I finished this on December 31st, right before New Year's. But then I never came back and actually showed that I had finished it. And this is actually important because I did make a few changes to this, and I wanted to show off the changes I made. So again, this was the 2019 Deck the Halls Christmas Sal from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and this is my finished piece. I did order the kit, and so she sent me, this was the fabric and the floss that she sent along with it. I did not get the needle minder, which was like the little gingerbread man. I did not. But, so, starting at the top, I did stitch it the way she sent it, which was starting in the middle, and then she worked all the way up, and then she came back and worked down. But starting at the top, I have a few changes in this top section. Originally it was hang stocking. I think it was just, it didn't sound quite right to me, and I had noticed that someone else had charted for it to say hang stockings, and I really liked that. So I as well did hang stockings, which just meant I kind of squidged this part over a little bit, shortened some of the widths. I know I made the C not as wide, and I believe the K, but I just kind of shortened how wide some of these letters were to fit in this S. And then here, I stitched my initials on my stocking. It's kind of hard to see, but I did, and then I put the year I finished it on the bottom of the stocking, which was 2020. Secondly, I changed this as well. So the original pattern was, it called for it to say dress tree. That is not a phrase that we necessarily use here in the United States, and so it felt really weird to me, and I was not, it didn't make sense to me because that's not what we say. But I wanted, obviously, a tree, and so I actually recharted the words to say pick a tree, and I really like how that looks out. I didn't do anything to the snowman. I still love it. I think this was probably one of my favorite sections to do. I don't know why, but I really like the snowman. We have the mistletoe kiss, which I did not change at all. Wrap presents, I did not change this at all. And then bake gingerbread, I did make 2 changes. One was unintentional, and one was on purpose. I will give you a big hint. They're both on the gingerbread man. So let's take a look at this poor dude. I intentionally changed the color of his bow tie. It was originally charted to be this same light blue, and I just didn't want that. I really like greens, and so I actually went with like this lighter green, and one of these green tealy shades that's in the mistletoe. But the one that was unintentional is this poor dude's eyes. Oh, I feel awful. They are both supposed to be, I believe this one is the wrong one. They are both supposed to be in this upper right hand box, the black part. So he's supposed to be like looking this way. When I stitched it, I like misread the pattern. So now his eyeballs are like cross-eyed. But you know what? I think it's cute, and I don't care. I actually think it's really, really cute that I have kind of a wonky-eyed gingerbread man. But I officially finished this. It is done. It is wonderful. I need to iron it. It's still really wrinkly. I had just taken it off the Q-snap, and I just rolled it up and tucked it into a drawer until I really figured out what I want to do with it. I'm going to wash it because there is a slight little stain on it that I'm hoping I can get out, but it's not noticeable. So even if I can't, I think I'm the only one that knows it's there. But I am going to wash it, and then I'm going to iron it. And then I want to figure out how I want to finish it. Originally, she showed it finished, like tied, that's the back, sorry. She had it like folded down over like a dowel rod and like to be hung as like a banner. And I really like that. I just learned that I don't particularly enjoy mounting things on like sticky board. But if I just leave it, it's obviously very flimsy, and I don't want the ends to fray. So I need to figure out what I'm doing. I don't necessarily want to like stitch the ends in, but I need to figure out something. I learned I don't like to mount things because it makes me anxious, and I'm always like, I'm terrified that it's going to be crooked. So I don't know. I will figure it out, but I do like the idea. Sorry, I was bouncing my legs, and I think it was shaking the camera. I like the idea of putting it on like a dowel rod. I just need to figure out what to do with this excess. I think there's too much fabric on the sides. The bottom, it's fine. I don't mind it being that close, but this just feels kind of off. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it definitely needs to be washed because some of the stitches look a little flat from when I was moving it around and like when I was putting it in a Q-snap. And just fluff those babies up. Okay, now moving on to books. Bookies. I have finished 2 books that I want to talk about. I think I had mentioned I was listening to some of the short stories in The Complete Sherlock Holmes, or The Complete Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I was just listening to that for fun. So I didn't count that as for School of Magical Stitches. I didn't count those. Plus I couldn't, because I was counting each individual story, and each individual story was only a total of 20 something to 30 pages. So in School of Magical Stitches, it needs to be a minimum of 100 pages to be counted as a novel. So it was just kind of for fun. I definitely recommend, if you just want a nice little break from things, go listen to some classic detective, Sherlock Holmes, Agatha Christie, Anyways, but I did finish The Memory Police by Yoko Agawa. Fantastic. I was not prepared for this book. I thought I was. I was not. Very reminiscent of the idea of 1984 by George Orwell, which I read in high school and really enjoyed. It is the same premise of this dystopian world. It takes place, I believe it was originally written in Japanese and has been translated into English. So it takes place on this fake island in this dystopian world where the memory police exist, and their job is to make sure that when things are supposed to be gone or forgotten, or they no longer exist in the world, that people actually do forget about them. And so items and things will disappear. People will wake up and something is gone, and the memory police are then making sure that people have actually forgotten that this item exists and that they are, getting rid of it. So for the example was calendars and date books disappear at one point, and the main character wakes up and is something's gone, but she can't remember what's gone, and then it clues in, oh, this calendar thing is gone. And so then she has to collect all of them out of her house and burn them or throw them in the river or get rid of them. So it's a very interesting take on items disappear. The people don't have control over it, so they literally don't remember that this thing even existed. But obviously, kind of like 1984, you have a few outliers or people who are quietly fighting under the scenes. And there are people who, for whatever reason, don't forget. They keep remembering. And that's where the memory police come in, and they have to round them up, blah, 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 blah. It's very good. It definitely sows these seeds of dread and unease throughout. And so I definitely was I was sitting chest tight, feeling anxious in a good way, not in a bad way, of being what's coming, what's happening next, something's gotta happen. And I kept looking at the audiobook, and I was there's only half an hour left. What? Because it didn't feel like the book was that close to being the end, so I'm sitting there going, what is going on? How is this going to end? But I was not prepared for the ending. I thought I had it predicted, and I did not. So, yes. Also, I really like the fact that it was actually written the year I was born, which is 1994. I had no idea. I honestly thought it came out in 2019 or 2018. So the fact that it actually was written in the 90s, but it still holds up so incredibly well, just is awesome. I love there's no time feel to it. It's very timeless. No specific dates are mentioned. The characters really don't have names. They are referred to by one character is referred to by a letter. Another character is just the old man. The narrator herself never tells you her name, so everything just feels forever open, and I really enjoyed that. Second, I also finished The Dead Girl in 2A by Carter Wilson. It wasn't bad. And I honestly think on its own it would have been fine. The problem was I immediately started this book after finishing The Memory Police. Within the same hour. I didn't give myself breathing room between books, and I really should have, which is my fault. So for the first half of this book, it was definitely being like overshadowed and clouded by the thoughts I was still having of the memory police, which isn't fair. So it's not a bad book. It just, for me, it wasn't as good as it could have been because of my own choice of reading when I read. But it was good. Very interesting premise. The whole thing is you meet Jake, who is having like memory issues. He doesn't know about his past. He gets on a flight to go to Colorado, and directly across from him is a woman that he swears he knows, and she swears she knows him, but they don't actually remember each other. They don't know how they know each other, and it goes from there of, I don't know you, you don't know me, but we know each other. And of course she tells him on the flight that she plans on killing herself when they arrive in Colorado. And then they land, and she just disappears. Like, she just walks off. And he is then like, what do I do? Do I find her? Do I let her do her thing? Like, and how, and the story just unravels, and you find out how they're actually connected and how they know each other, and things and experiments and government conspiracies. And I don't know. It was good. I think I just read it at the wrong time. It was not my favorite. I don't know if I would recommend it. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be like, check it out. But I definitely am saying go check out The Memory Police. Take a look at that one. That one was good. I am currently reading The Secret Adversary by Agatha Christie. It is the first in her Tommy and Tuppence series. That's a mouthful. Like, Tommy and Tuppence, Tommy and Tuppence. And it's two young, like, upstarts it's like right after the war has ended, and they are broke, and they decide that they are going to open up an adventurer's business, and they are going to be self-proclaimed adventurers that you can hire, and they will do things for you. And it's just kind of their like mishap and mayhem and the stuff, and they're getting caught up in like a intrigue, and yeah, it's alright. It's old. It's not. It doesn't have the same feel as like her Hercule Poirot books, which I really enjoy. So it's different. Don't expect it to be like Poirot, but that's okay. Also, I just started 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. I just started it. I'm only a few chapters in. I think on my like audiobook thing it says I'm like 8% in. Like, I'm not even 10% through the book yet. But it's, the premise of there are these 9 strangers who don't know each other at all, but they all are going to end up at this like wellness retreat, and how their lives intersect at this wellness retreat. I remember when it like came out and it got like really popular, and I was always interested in it. I just never got around to it. But then I saw that it was available as an audiobook, and I like that it takes place in Australia and the narrator is Australian. So it just sounds really good. I like to listen to it. And last but not least, I am still listening to The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown with my son. That is a mother and son listen, and we are definitely enjoying listening to that in the car as we run about and do our errands. And we will definitely be listening to it today because we have a few places we need to go this afternoon. So I'm excited about that. What am I watching? I am watching... My husband and I started Forged in Fire. It's on Netflix. They only have season 6 on Netflix, which we didn't realize until we'd already started it, but that's okay. It's a History Channel show, which I found out you can go back and watch the earlier seasons from like history.com, which is good to know. But I really like it. It's basically they take like blacksmiths and like metal workers and give them tasks, and they have to create weapons and things in a very condensed short amount of time, and then they test them based off endurance and strength and speed or sharpness. It's very interesting to watch. So, and I feel like I'm learning things, even though I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know how to work metal. I don't know how to do anything like that, but it's very cool to watch. We've watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes of that already, and I really liked it. I really like it. So we're watching that. Still haven't finished Prodigal Son. I keep bringing it up. I'm waiting for my husband. Also, I've got back into Midsummer Murders. I am now on season 8 of Midsummer Murders. I have seen this season before. I actually had to watch it at work before I really got into the show. So I've seen these episodes, but I don't mind necessarily rewatching. It's kind of nice to just let them play because then I can sit and stitch and I don't have to pay as much attention because I've already seen them and I do know how they end. But it's still nice to like revisit it. On YouTube, I've been watching a lot of Flosstube. Lots of you guys. I've been trying to catch up on everyone's like whip parades and their like January 2021 starts or no new starts, and I do like seeing Lisa's updates from Shady Tree Stitchers. I like seeing her updates of like talking about her group, the no new starts. I obviously can't do that, but I love that idea. I've also been watching a lot of Jacksepticeye. If you know him, you know him. He is an Irish gaming channel. He is a beautiful Irish man named Sean, and he games under like the name Jacksepticeye, and he just plays video games with his friends and does random stuff. He does swear a lot, but I find him very funny. I love his energy. He's very positive. His whole thing is PMA, which is positive mental attitude. He does a lot of charity work. He's just a feel-good channel. I've been watching him for years, but I've just really been watching a lot of his content lately because it's been really uplifting. So it just makes me happy. He did a nostalgia week at the end of the year, and that just was such a feel-good time. So it definitely helped get me through the end of the year. And finally, I watched Jane Eyre. I found the movie. We had it at work. I searched high and low on all of like the streaming platforms. Could not find it because it's owned by like HBO or something. So I'd have to buy it or pay to rent it. And I was so frustrated. And then I remembered I work at a gosh darn library. So I looked it up, and of course we had it. I just had to go downstairs and pull it off the shelf. So I brought it home. I watched it the other night. I made a post about it in Virtual Stitchers. I'm trying to help you guys like find me without being so outright obvious with my personal information. But I forgot how much I liked that movie. It's been years since I've watched that movie. The last time I watched, it's like the 2009 or 2011 version of it with Michael Fassbender and Mia. She's got that long name. But I watched it in high school, and I forgot how much I really liked this version. So I watched it, and then my husband came home when I had like 45 minutes left. So about halfway through, because it's a 2-hour film. So he came home about the halfway mark, and I made him sit down and watch it with me. So really, he saw like from the climax on. He missed all of the lead up, but he didn't really need to see the lead up part. And he, of course, grumble. And I was like, just shush and watch. And he was on his phone, and then I look over and he's like put his phone down and is watching. And I was like, yeah, see? Because he was all like, I don't want to watch it because old-timey speak, and you know, that's not his style. And I get it. Like, you have to really be in that mood to watch like those old like British classics kind of thing. Everyone has an accent. Everyone talks with old speech and their costumes and stuff. But I made him watch it and was like making some jokes as well. But he did watch the ending with me. But I want to watch it again, and I probably will watch it again either today or like this weekend because I just really, really like it, and I want to watch it again. And then that's all I got. That's all I'm going to wrap this up because it is longer than I intended, and I still have more filming I need to do for part 2 of this video. I gotta pull out my whips. I gotta pull out all of my haul stuff, share that with you guys. But I do want to say I've got some plans. I've got some things in the works. I had mentioned way back that I wanted to do something special at 50 subscribers, and I never got around to it. I still have the ideas for that. I've written them down, but I never got around to actually filming something. And now we're almost at 100 subscribers. Last I checked, I was 7 subscribers away from 100, and that is just amazing. Blows my mind. I can't even fathom. So I thought I would kind of combine the 50 and 100 and do something for both of those. So we'll see. I think I don't want to say what I'm going to do yet, but you will know. I will release it when it gets to that time. It's in the works. I am planning a special like subscriber video, maybe do a Q&A, maybe just some interesting facts about me, just to help you guys get to know me better. And yeah, so if you have questions or if you have things that pique your interest, don't be afraid to ask them below. Hit me up in the comments, because maybe, just maybe, I will bring that up in a future video. You never know. And also, I'm going to be a little sneaky. Not really. Nothing is released yet. Nothing has been filmed yet. But I would like to say, I've been talking to some other people, been in the works, been chatting with a certain Flosstuber, and let's just say you might see me soon on another channel. So, stay tuned for that. Once I have more information, I will let you guys know, but don't be surprised if you see me pop up somewhere else. In the meantime, I will talk to you guys later. You'll see me again soon for Flosstube number 10, part 2. I think this is Flosstube number 10. I'm pretty sure. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Happy stitching, happy reading, happy listening, happy watching. Have fun, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Be easy with your hearts.